Episode 3 of Blood Coast begins with a lawyer called Jaborska entertaining some guests at dinner. When he head down to his office, he helps himself to some drugs, but he's stopped by a masked man, Lies, who shows and demands he open the safe. He's not interested in the money though. Lies grabs the files and takes off. However, Alice Vidal happens to be watching from afar. These files include details surrounding a case from 7 years ago involving someone called Serge Lafont. He's a small-time pimp that was found burnt in a car. There's also a statement from a prostitute who was killed 6 months back too. Is this enough to pressure Pareto? Regardless, word of Fuddle's death spreads over to the team, who show up at Ali's place and ask for a statement. When they leave, Ali calls his contact Tobias, who shows and looks set to turn the tables. Alice speaks to Lies about what she saw the previous night at the lawyer's house. He admits that his sister died of an overdose when he was younger, and that's why he's in the narcotics team. Alice tells him she's not his enemy, and she's certainly not Miranda's lackey either. It's enough for Lies to give a small lifeboat to her, coming in the form of meeting Pareto with him in an hour's time. Meanwhile, Bakery goes missing. Tattoo is worried that this could be due to the intel he gave up last episode surrounding Biggie. While half the team head off to try and track him down, Vidal and Lies show up to see Pareto. They pressure him over details surrounding Sandy, the prostitute. He wants details on the Indian, and in return, Lies will make the charges go away. Lies' approach doesn't work, but Alice's does. Pareto actually knew her father, whom he calls an honest cop. He agrees to give some intel on 2 conditions. First, the file stays with him. Secondly, to watch their back, a bunch of people saw the Indian hanging out in a brothel on the Spanish border. However, Alice is concerned over a gap in Lies' file, and something that happened with the team. While he and Alice prepare to head off and go to Spain, the rest of the team have found Biggie and prepare to go and take him down. However, he's already dead, lying in his hideout with a bullet in his head. Elsewhere, Miranda shows up and puts pressure on the commissioner. The district attorney is there too, and he points out that the current situation in Marseille is turning ugly. In fact, Miranda has actually opened an investigation into Lies over everything that's been going on. The commissioner speaks to the team and briefs them on the bullet and how Nader is their next target. In private, she speaks to Arno about his wife's current relapse and encourages him to spend time with her. He refuses, deciding that work is what keeps him going. However, that night he's tempted by a beautiful woman outside and they go for a drink together. When he kisses her goodnight, Miranda happens to be filming from afar. At the Spanish border, Alice and Lies show up at the strip club. There, Lies notices a familiar girl, Fanny Santiago. This is the same woman we saw in the field back in episode 1. She's also part of Murillo's team. She's under an international arrest warrant, but he won't take her in. He has a debt with her, and that comes from Fanny saving his life when Murillo was going to kill him. He was screwing her behind Murillo's back, so there's definite feelings there. Lies and Alice end up on a stakeout and watch her car. When she leaves and parks by the dock, Alice puts a tracker on Fanny's car. At the same time, Tobias finds out about DaCosta and how Fuddle was double-crossed. Naturally, they pick him up, take him out to the dock and put a bullet in his head. Meanwhile, when Fanny leaves the pair tail from afar. While this is going on, the rest of the team work to grab Nader. They manage to do so, and squeeze another name out of him, Tariq Hamadi. He has a nasty record and apparently this goes way back. As they get closer to the truth, the episode ends with Fanny getting out her car and into the Indians, and they take off together. The episode review. The case is starting to get interesting now, and the dynamic between Lies and Alice, remaining separate to the rest of the team, is a nice touch. This works well to understand more of their motivations and exactly what drives both of them to do what they're doing. The gang war is starting to escalate now too, and with both Mario and Ali Sadie ready to go to war, the next few episodes look set to pick up in a big way.